Hello, so this is going to be like a mini review / initial impressions discussion about the Milani Minerals Loose Makeup, which is a powder foundation, and I got this in the color 04 True Beige, and it matches my skin tone pretty well. I'm wearing it right now. You can't really see any like demarcation border, and my skin is NC35 in MAC. And a lot of, at least I saw one girl saying she was NC30, between NC30 and NC40, and this matched her pretty well. So, I couldn't say whether or not it's the same as Bare Minerals Medium Beige, but it's definitely lighter than Medium Tan, which is why I needed to buy this one, because this one was way too dark. So anyway, if you see my video on my update, I posted it just before this one on my almost 2-month trial of the mineralized satinfinish liquid foundation from MAC, then you'll see that this has been causing me a little bit more acne than I like it to. So I wanted to go back to mineral foundation, but my mineral foundation was too dark because it's been winter and my skin has gotten paler. So I can't use this. And I didn't want to buy another $25 Bare Minerals foundation because I have so much of this left, and I already have a MAC and I have a backup of this, so I decided to find something cheaper and review it in the process. So, I heard good stuff about this drugstore foundation. Other people have reviewed like Neutrogena or I don't even know what, but this one came out with pretty good reviews. This is about like $9, I believe, at a CVS. They also sell it in like compact form. It kind of looks like the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural, and that has like a clear case. And I believe that the compact form of this is like a little bit more expensive, maybe like $1. So, yeah, let's go on with the review. So initially, the packaging is very noticeable in that it has like a twisty top. And what the twisting top does is kind of pump this brush, which is located underneath the top. And I could show you, maybe if I hold it. You could see how it kind of like, wait, it's not really doing it that well. It kind of like pumps the brush back and forth. Anyway, so it does do that. And why it's doing that is to grab some of the foundation that's located underneath the sifter of this. When I can't really, you know what, it's kind of weird because if you could see it right here, if the foundation goes below where the bottom of the sifter is, then how is the pumping action going to get the foundation out? So, you know, I don't know why it twists. But anyway, I don't like how small this brush is because if you could see it compared to my face, you would have to buff several mini circles, and you would have to go back several more times to grab more product. So I don't like the size, and also I find the bristles to be very rough, even though I already say that the Bare Minerals brushes are rough. This is rougher. So me no likey this, but if you don't have any kabuki brushes or buffer brushes from MAC or anywhere, then you can use this. It might take you a little bit more time. If you have a review on this brush, then do post a comment or response on it, but I don't like it. One good thing about this is that the mouth is smaller than the Bare Minerals because the mouth is about the size of the whole jar, and then it's deeper. Like it goes in a good inch into the jar. Whereas with the Bare Minerals, you could see that it's sitting like right on the top, especially if you've been traveling. Oh gosh, and it wants to get messy everywhere. This is like the bane of my existence, this stupid jar. Yeah, it comes out on the edges and everything. I'm like, oh my god. But this stuff doesn't really want to come out that easily. There's like fewer holes, they're smaller, and it's deeper, and it's a smaller mouth. With that being said, you can't really put any other brush in this mouth other than the one it comes with. And then there's no lid to kind of like buff and tap the same way you would do the Bare Minerals, which I don't even like in the first place. So, I try to put my smaller headed brush. This is actually probably smaller than the Flawless Face Brush from Bare Minerals. But even so, it can't really fit into the top. It's kind of a bummer. It's kind of stupid. But I found that if you kind of place the brush here and give it a couple of good taps, that a good amount of the foundation will come out, even a little bit more than this, and you can just buff it on your hand like so. And then there might be still a little bit more on the bottom, like you could see there, and you can kind of just tap it underneath, and you know, it's not messy at all because it's much more controlled in this deep mouth, which I really like. So, surprisingly, the stupid jar actually ended up being kind of neat because you can just tap it, and it would come out in the same amount every time. Because you know how with the Bare Minerals, you have to kind of dump it out in the lid, and if you don't dump it out in the exact way every time, when you swirl your brush in the lid, you might not get the same amount. So, at least with this, you can kind of control how many taps you use, like 2 taps for each cheek, 2 taps for the, you know what I mean, you can kind of measure it. And I like that about foundations, like especially like a liquid where you can pump it out. I use 1.5 pumps of this every day and no more. Maybe even I can use 1 if I want lighter. So you know what I mean, you can kind of measure. And I would say about the finish of this product, I would say that it's not as shimmery as the Bare Minerals, which is why a lot of people don't like it. It's because it's not matte, it's like shiny. And then when you put on your mineral veil over it, which adds a little bit more shine, it's still more shiny. So this is like semi-matte, I would call it, the Milani. But as you can see, there's some shine on my nose, a little bit on, you know, it gives a good glow to your skin, like right there. It doesn't look unnatural at all, and yet it's not as, I don't think it's as prominent as the Bare Minerals, which is kind of like why I didn't like it, but I still want that glow in my foundation. So, it's more matte, and not completely matte, and there's no SPF in here, by the way. Kind of a bummer, but my lotion already has it underneath. So, and I would say that the coverage, you can build on this coverage. Like, since in my other video I said I got more acne on my left cheek recently, you can just do what I said, you know, do the couple of taps extra and buff it on right where you have the blemish, and it will cover it a little bit more. Like, it will do it. So, I'm not wearing any concealer with it. I just wanted to kind of see what it would do on its own, and no primer, and it's sticking pretty well. It covers the blemishes I had that I wanted to cover pretty well. I mean, you could still see them. So in that sense, it doesn't give like a totally flawless face, but if you're just going, you know, to class or the grocery store, who the heck cares? So, I mean, that's the case for a lot of mineral foundations anyway. So I think this works just as well as Bare Minerals. The reason why it's probably more attractive is because it's like 1/3 of the price. Like, you can get almost 3 of these for 1 of these, and this is 10 grams, whereas the Bare Minerals is only 9 grams, so you already get a better deal. And I hear that these go on sale at CVS as well. So if you want to try mineral foundation, I would start with this, because I'd used Bare Minerals for like September through December, and it's okay. Like, it's pretty good. Like, you know, there's a reason why it's rated so highly, but you know, this one is just as good, I think. So what I wore with it was, I cleansed my face, I toned it, used toner, and then I used some MAC charged water, you know, because I found that powder foundations want to kind of seep into whatever moisture's on there. And then I used moisturizer, and I didn't use primer, and I didn't use concealer. It's just how it is, and it seemed to adhere very well, and it looks very, very natural. Like, I can't say how much I actually like how it looks. Maybe it's because it's in contrast with my liquid, and I've been wearing that for so long. Like, this looks really natural, and I like it. And it's not perfect coverage, but if I wore concealer with it, it would look really, really good. Just as good as the Bare Minerals. So, you know, the only downside is the stupid container. I might buy, I don't know, maybe I do like the container, because you can kind of tap it. It doesn't have SPF. It's not as like a shimmery finish as the Bare Minerals, but other than that, I would say it's just as good with its coverage, how it looks, and how it wears. So if you have any comments or questions, do let me know, and I will be trying this for like another month probably to see kind of if my acne goes down, or you know, how this plays out in the next month. And if it turns out very good, then I'm a Milani Minerals wearer for the springtime. So thanks for watching. Bye.